15 to 30%. That is the exact amount of your Microsoft bill that is pure, unadulterated waste. If you are a large organization, you are likely bleeding millions of dollars every single year because of a few repeatable, completely avoidable mistakes in your Microsoft Enterprise Agreement. Welcome back to the SAM Fundamentals series. I'm Shub, the license nerd. In our last video, we broke down the SAM maturity model. Today, we are tackling the beast itself, the Microsoft EA. We are going to expose the true-up trap, reveal why the default M365 recommendation is costing you double, and give you the exact negotiation tactics you need to stop overpaying and take back control of your IT budget. If you want to stop funding Microsoft's stock price with your wasted budget, keep watching. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a Microsoft Enterprise Agreement, or EA? It is a volume licensing contract designed for organizations with over 500 users or devices. It is a 3-year commitment that gives you access to Microsoft's entire catalog of software and cloud services. The pitch sounds great. You get annual payments instead of one massive upfront fee, your prices are locked in for 3 years protecting you from inflation, and you get volume discounts based on your size. But here is the catch. To get these benefits, you have to make a platform commitment. A platform commitment means you must license every single user or device in your entire organization for at least one core product. Usually, this is a Microsoft 365 plan. You can't just buy what you need, you have to buy for everyone. And this is where the first massive mistake happens. The wrong SKU. Microsoft account teams will almost always push you towards the M365 license. It has all the bells and whistles, advanced security, and compliance features. But it also costs nearly double the E3 license. The reality is, a huge percentage of your workforce does not need E5 features. They just need basic email, Word, and Teams. By defaulting to E5 for everyone, you are paying a massive premium for features that will never be turned on. You could serve those users with an E3 license plus a few specific add-ons and cut that portion of your bill in half. This single mistake accounts for millions in overspend. You must profile your users and buy the right license for the right persona, not just take the easy, expensive default. Mistake number 2 is the Copilot rollout cost. Microsoft is pushing AI hard, and Copilot for M365 is their flagship product. At $360 per user per year, it multiplies incredibly fast. We see organizations doing blanket rollouts, buying Copilot for thousands of users at once. But when you look at the telemetry data, only a tiny fraction of those users are actually active daily users of the AI features. You are paying $360 a head for people to occasionally ask Copilot to summarize an email. Do not buy Copilot enterprise-wide until you have proven the ROI with a targeted pilot group. Now let's talk about the most feared event in the EA lifecycle, the true-up. Because you made a platform commitment, you only have to pay once a year for any growth. At the end of your agreement year, you count your users and devices. If you grew, you report it and pay the difference. This sounds convenient, but it is a massive trap. If you do your true-up wrong, it produces a one-shot bill that runs 12 to 35% above your original commitment. Why? Because the true-up only measures growth. It ensures Microsoft gets paid for every new unit. But it provides absolutely no mechanism for recovering value when your usage contracts. If you laid off 500 people, you still pay for their licenses until the end of the 3-year term. Microsoft TrueDowns don't officially exist for most products. You must meticulously clean your Active Directory, remove inactive users, and harvest and used licenses before you run your true-up report. If you just hit export and send it to Microsoft, you are guaranteed to overpay. Mistake number 4 is the unclaimed Azure hybrid benefit. If you are moving workloads to Azure, you are probably paying for the compute and the Windows Server or SQL Server license built into the hourly rate. But if you already own those licenses on-premises with active software assurance, you can apply them to Azure and only pay the base compute rate. This is called the Azure hybrid benefit, and it is the single largest unclaimed saving inside most estates. We see companies double paying for licenses every single day because they simply forgot to check a box in the Azure portal. Speaking of Azure, let's talk about the MACC, or Microsoft Azure Consumption Commitment. This is a multi-year spend floor you agree to in exchange for deeper discounts. Microsoft reps love the MACC because it locks in revenue. But overcommitting is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. If you commit to spending $5 million and you only spend $3 million, you still owe Microsoft the remaining $2 million. Never let your account team pressure you into a MACC based on optimistic, best-case scenario cloud migration timelines. Base it on hard, conservative data. Mistake number 6 is EA versus MCA confusion. Microsoft is aggressively pushing smaller organizations away from the traditional EA and into the Microsoft Customer Agreement, or MCA-E. They have different pricing mechanics. If you treat them as interchangeable, it will cost you 5 to 10% on your renewal. And remember, as of November 2025, Microsoft ended volume discounts, the level A through D pricing for online services. Those discounts are now only available for on-premises licenses. The game has changed, and you need to know the new rules. So, how do you actually negotiate an excellent Microsoft deal? Rule number 1. Start early. You need to begin your internal preparations at least 12 months before your EA expires. If you wait until month 9, Microsoft already has you cornered. You need time to inventory all your licenses, analyze your actual usage telemetry, and build a bulletproof renewal strategy. You need to know exactly what you own, what you use, and what you can drop before Microsoft even sends their first proposal. Rule number 2. Leverage the split. Microsoft's biggest fear is losing your cloud workloads to AWS or Google Cloud. If you want leverage at the negotiation table, you must have a credible threat of moving workloads. Even if you don't intend to move everything, showing that you are actively evaluating competitors for specific projects forces Microsoft to sharpen their pencil. The split is your most powerful negotiation tactic. Use it. Rule number 3. Do not blindly extend your EA. Microsoft may offer you a 2-year extension or a 5-year EA. Sounds easy, but it's a trap. When you extend, you often lose the specific concessions and discounts you negotiated in the original 3-year term. You end up paying higher rates for the extension period, and when you finally do renew, you have lost your baseline leverage. Always negotiate a fresh 3-year term to lock in new, aggressive discounts. Rule number 4. Push for true down rights. While Microsoft doesn't officially advertise true downs, you can negotiate the right to adjust quantities annually or reset to actual usage at renewal for specific products. This is critical if your business is cyclical or if you anticipate a reduction in workforce. If you don't ask for it, you will never get it. Everything is negotiable if your spend is large enough. Rule number 5. Benchmark your pricing. Your Microsoft account team will tell you that you are getting the best possible discount. They are lying. You have no idea if your level C discount is actually competitive unless you benchmark it against what other companies of your exact size and industry are paying. Bring in independent licensing experts who have visibility into hundreds of EA negotiations. Data is your only defense against vendor pricing opacity. Finally, let's talk about the Server and Cloud Enrollment, or SCE. This is a special enrollment under the EA for server technologies like Windows Server and SQL Server. It offers an extra 15% off licenses with software assurance, but it requires an installed base-wide commitment. This means every single instance of that server in your environment must be licensed through the SCE. If you buy a server license outside the SCE, it is invalid. It is a powerful cost-saving tool, but it requires meticulous procurement discipline. The Microsoft Enterprise Agreement is designed to maximize Microsoft's revenue, not your savings. But by avoiding the E5 default trap, claiming your hybrid benefits, managing your true-ups meticulously, and starting your negotiations 12 months early, you can reclaim that 15 to 30% of wasted spend. You can turn your EA from a financial black hole into a strategic asset. Are you overpaying on your Microsoft EA? It's time to find out. In our next video, we are going to shift gears and look at the other giant in the room, Oracle licensing and the dreaded Java audit. If you found this Microsoft deep dive valuable, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with your procurement team. I'm Shub, the license nerd, and I'll see you in the next one.